I'm Jeff Mack, a commercial real estate broker with Newmark, Grubb, Knight, Frank, and I'm pleased to welcome Frank Powers to citybizlist. Frank is the founding partner of a marketing firm in Philadelphia called Elevate Healthcare.
Elevate Healthcare is a strategy practice that specializes in the pharmaceutical, biotech, and medical device fields. We partner with commercial leaders in the C-suite on strategy upstream of those traditional agencies that one might expect in the healthcare space. And it's been an exciting time. We launched in November of 2015 with a small core of senior leaders, and that has expanded to 10 full-time employees with the goal of doubling that by year end. I think a key to starting a business is having trusted partners, not only on the business relationship side of the equation, but also on the client side. So we were fortunate to have some key core clients in the gate early, and that has allowed us to accelerate the launch of the firm. And I've been in the healthcare marketing field for over 20 years now. Cut my teeth on the purple pill, Nexium, as well as many global brands for Merck, AstraZeneca, Sanofi, and some of the large pharmaceutical firms, as well as medical device firms like Cordis and Medtronic. And Lorna comes to the healthcare marketing field from a law background, and so a very different approach to healthcare marketing in that she has a true sense of compliance and the legalities of the medical marketing field. So she truly understands what you can and cannot do, which really frees up the clients to think in a different way about a marketing situation. I got the nickname The Motivator from my colleagues at the shop because of how I engage with our clients on a regular basis, and some of the programs that they take and risks they take creatively with our group of core senior experienced people and staff results in campaigns that they might not expect from traditional firms. I think any partnership that is worth its salt begins with trust and collaboration. So we begin there, and then the relationship unfolds and is proven by a solid work product. We have our team at Elevate is a group of very senior experienced people that know the healthcare marketing trade inside and out. The average number of years experience in our shop is 15 years for each associate. Companies choose Elevate because of our experience. We are solely focused and interested in working in the healthcare field, so we're 100% healthcare focused. We're also in that vertical focused in pharmaceutical and biotech, in addition to marketing to physicians or the healthcare professionals. So if someone's looking to convince or influence the healthcare professional, such as a pharmaceutical manufacturer or a medical device company, they would look at a firm such as ours. We've positioned Elevate upstream of traditional advertising agencies in the healthcare space because of our strategic expertise. Our core experience and number of years marketing products to healthcare professionals allows us to work at a senior level, and that's why the C-suite team at a pharmaceutical firm or a biotechnology firm would tap on Elevate to engage earlier or upstream, as early as phase 2 in clinical trials, to determine positioning, messaging, and potential sales strategy for their product. Elevate hit the ground running in November of 2015, working with a flagship account called Kaleo out of Richmond, Virginia, working in the opioid overdose space with a product called Evzio. Truly a life-saving product and very important product for Elevate to be engaged with as a premier partner. Regarding Elevate and our multidisciplinary approach, we employ a number of different disciplines at the agency. So unlike other consultancies that work upstream, you get a full array of talent that includes writing, art, clinical, digital, as well as innovation strategists at the table, in addition to compliance, legal, and brand strategists as well. So truly a cross-disciplinary team deploys against each account, which is very different in the space we operate in. As we've seen, and digital transformation is occurring right now, people are looking at different ways and different partners to create products. And so part of that is looking at a firm like Elevate to help them to bring, whether it's service models or pharmaceutical products, looking at digital as a way to create new products and getting to market faster through digital. Healthcare is ripe for disruption or disintermediation for a number of reasons. If you look across just your daily world, Jeff, you look at firms like Uber and Airbnb that have disrupted the status quo or traditional sales models. So healthcare is waiting for this next big disruptor. And we believe digital will allow direct sales. If we specifically we look at medical device, that is a particular vertical that is ripe for this disruption, as it's tougher to getting in to see the target audience, and more direct channels of sale can occur via online. So I would venture a guess that that's where we're going to see the next big disruption from a digital selling point of view. The next big disruption in healthcare is coming, whether that's in pharmaceuticals, in insurance, whether it's on the sales side of the equation. It remains to be seen where it's going to happen, but it's coming, and everyone feels it. And they're talking about it, they're writing about it, and the question is, who's going to get to it first? A key hunch of mine is that it will have to do with how communication between the patient and physician are currently interacting. So I would tell you, I'd venture a guess that that's where we're going to see the cycle of communication shorten to bridge the physician-patient relationship. This past June, Elevate Healthcare was named one of the top 100 ad agencies in the country based upon a number of factors: billings, as well as the work we submitted to the publication. I will tell you that based upon the interview that they did with our principals, I think a long way went to our experience in the field and our backgrounds that chose them to pick Lorna and I, as well as the Elevate team, as just after a few months in business, as one of the top firms in the field. When looking for new hires at Elevate, we're looking for, first and foremost, a cultural fit. We're a small firm at the moment, and so working hand-to-hand with senior leaders has to be a very comfortable situation for whoever we bring into the mix. Expertise, experience, and a willingness to roll up your sleeves and do is a must-have in a hire at Elevate. Tremendous opportunities currently with Elevate. We're in quite a bit of growth, looking to double the size of our staff by year end. So there is entry-level opportunities at a firm that is focused in the healthcare arena. So for the healthcare marketers in the Philadelphia and greater Philadelphia region, please take a look at our site in the careers section. I'll be happy to spend some time with you. Over my 20-year marketing career, I've worked with a number of different world-class marketing teams, from Merck & Company to AstraZeneca, as well as Medtronic on the medical device sector. What I will tell you has impressed me most over the past several years is seeing a transition from a big pharmaceutical manufacturer and one of their leaders moving into the biotechnology firm to take the commercial lead of a smaller firm, where you see some more entrepreneurial spirit and they're willing to take some risks that they might not be able to do or are allowed to do in a large pharmaceutical organization. I think the answer there is why they're doing what they're doing. I think at the end of the day, Elevate has passion for producing the best work product on the planet in the healthcare space. We answer to ourselves and our clients, and we're not responding or answering to the street. We're answering to the mirror, and each day we wake up, look at it, and get up and go after it. So I think there's a real passion behind what we do, and there's a reason why we do it on our own. From a technology point of view, Elevate's using a number of cutting-edge tools, whether it's social listening tools, new platforms, or sales solutions. We're building technology solutions for our clients and their sales force to better communicate with physicians, nurses, and the healthcare professional at large. I think a great influence over my career has actually been my parents. So I grew up in a very interesting household full of entrepreneurs. So whether it was my mother and the work she's done with Company Voice and her call center career, as well as my dad, who has been a national sales director at a number of top tax firms. At the dinner table at night, Jeff, you would always hear business. So I think I had no choice really at the end of the day of what I was going to end up doing as a career. That was always a slant that was talked about in my house. My mom's the consummate salesperson, so watching her in action, and that's something that I've been lucky enough to watch my entire career. She's very personable, she's very authentic, And I think when you meet her and spend time with her, that authenticity comes through and makes things real, and people gravitate towards that. So hopefully I've picked up a bit of that along the way. The first marketing job, I will say true marketing job that was focused and that eventually laid the groundwork for what I do now, is with a firm called Stan Gross Associates out of Haverford, Pennsylvania. And it was a unique brand consultancy that I will tell you, Dr. Gross worked with some of the best brands on the planet, whether it was Michelin and the tire and the baby, the DuPont corporate brand and many of the business units there, and ultimately my break into healthcare. Dr. Gross wouldn't let you out of the shop and go to a client until you knew brand strategy cold. So there's a teacher from the Sorbonne called Jean-Noel Kopfer, and he writes the seminal book on strategic brand management. And he would quiz us before we'd leave the office. And if you failed that quiz, you weren't going on that client call. So it was a true test between the consultants who would be going out to client visits. Where is Elevate going to be in 5 years? I imagine we're going to be very focused in a similar path we're heading down right now, which is serving a very core group of clients to a very high capacity, a narrower client roster than a traditional agency, but doing deeper, more strategic engagement work. So truly a roster that mimics where it is right now, but with more talented people and more strategic engagements. So philanthropy is a very important part of what we do, not only at Elevate, but for me personally, as well as the City of Philadelphia. I sit on the board of Leadership Philadelphia, an organization committed to getting the best thinking on behalf of the for-profit sector to benefit the nonprofit sector. So Liz Dow and the group at Leadership is doing yeoman's work on behalf of the city. I'm proud to sit on their board, as well as some of the folks that I've met through Leadership Philadelphia, like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and the work Marcus Allen is doing. I'm proud to support him, as well as March of Dimes, in particular the March for Babies, and the Pathway School for children on the spectrum of autism and the disorders is a personal favorite of mine that we spend time with and engage as a pro bono account. I believe my leadership style, Jeff, is one by example. So I'm out in front of it and I'm doing it with my staff. I'm working with them in the trenches, and there's not something that I would ask of any of my employees that I have not done or am not doing at the moment, especially at the scale of where Elevate is right now, just under 1 year old. So truly leading by doing and building the culture in much that same way. So my favorite part of Elevate Healthcare and the healthcare marketing field is that at the end of the day, we have an impact on the patient. And so through the education of healthcare professionals, ultimately a patient will benefit. And depending on the disease state that you're working in, that could be saving a life or getting someone in touch with a rare disease and a solution to that rare disease they didn't know existed before we educated either their physicians or them themselves as patients. So pretty rewarding to be able to touch someone in that light. So when I'm not at work, I do like to spend time at home with the family. I have a wife and 3 daughters who are in that grade school age, so certainly a lot of homework and helping on math problems when appropriate, as well as the occasional round of golf with you, Jeff. If you look at my desk at the moment or in my briefcase, I just picked up the latest Patrick Lencioni book, The Ideal Team Player, as we're in growth mode. So that's one of the books that I'm currently engaged with. And you'll always find me, if I'm traveling, with a book called Win Without Pitching by Blair Enns. I read it on a regular basis and consistently go back to it, remind myself what good looks like in business development. One of the things I've learned about myself over the years is that you can't be beaten if you give everything you got. I believe I can outwork anyone, and because of that, my work ethic has always propelled me to heights that I hadn't expected in my career. So through hard work, being the first in, last out, in addition to constantly reading and learning and never stop learning, is a mantra that has served me well throughout my career. So I've never rested on my laurels. Yeah, so Elevate partners with C-suite senior people to help firms take analog messaging and build it into the digital world, whether that's through messaging on their site or their brand communications, certainly have a role in digital transformation and where their brand is going. And those channels are changing each day. And so whether that's understanding the social presence of their brand, which maybe they can or cannot engage in online at this current point in time, people are moving to a place where they're taking a more proactive stance of managing their healthcare, and we're helping our clients understand that and communicate with those clients in a digital way. So regarding difficult times in my career or lessons learned, I think anytime you engage with a client on a new product launch that doesn't go the way they expect or hope, there's always learnings there. And so I think there's times in my career where I wish I would have been stronger to guide a client more forcefully or stuck to the data in a way that was more accurate to what we knew the physicians would like to learn. So over that time and through launches that have gone well and gone not so well, the lessons of bringing product to market in a way that maximizes that opportunity. You only get a chance to launch once, and you need to maximize it. So you can't sacrifice on the learnings prior to that launch to ensure success. The healthcare marketing landscape is a very complex and crowded one. Every Madison Avenue ad agency that you might know of, such as Ogilvy or Saatchi & Saatchi, has an arm in the healthcare business and very good at what they do, in addition to independent firms such as Abelson Taylor out of Chicago that is very good and expert in what they do. How we've differentiated Elevate is that we're playing upstream from them. We're not just worried about the brand campaign per se, but engaging with senior leaders on how to position their molecule, their firm, and ultimately a path to success for sales and marketing leadership for an emerging biotech or a pharmaceutical firm. So not just after their tactics per se, but looking to partner on a strategic level. And that's where we live and do our best work. The creation of the name Elevate for the firm was an interesting story, Jeff. There's a number of different parameters that we believe go into a successful name, and ultimately whether that's a action verb, which is where we landed, versus naming after principals' names or an inanimate object. We felt really strongly of the number of names we put on the table that Elevate had the most activity and movement to it, which felt right for our culture. It was a fast-moving environment, an entrepreneurial environment, and at the end of the day, we were looking to elevate the lives of patients. And so for us, when we knew our mission was to elevate healthcare, it made perfect sense to involve that in the name.